I'm John Schaefer with GoAztecs.com at Extra 1360, and thrilled today in front of Super Bowl week to have a super story for you as I'm joined by Steve Fisher and Tremaine Davis, who played for Coach Fisher at San Diego State on the Mesa in the early 2000s and has been named an honorary captain for Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. Just an incredible story as they honor the work of Tremaine in the community around the global pandemic. And it's great to have both of you with us. Tremaine, I want to start with you. How did you find out about this honor, and how did it come about that you would be an honorary captain this Sunday in Tampa?
Well, I found out 3 Fridays ago, which I thought was a routine check-in with my team, with the folks I work with the NFL's Players Coalition. Got on the call, and I recognized 3 screens that, I'll always see when we have in our check-in meetings. And then all of a sudden, there are about 6 more screens that came online. I said, okay, this is a little different. And then my better half, my wife, she comes and she sits down next to me and she's on screen. So I'm like trying to keep like a straight face, but at the same time, like what are you doing, And then I realized okay, so they're all in on this. I'm the one that's not realizing what's going on. And all of a sudden I heard the words, "That's why you will be the honorary captain for this year's Super Bowl." And I've been out of my body ever since. It's been such an incredible, such a phenomenal honor to be recognized in this regard. And it's also something that I really look forward to doing my best to live up to, but I'm so thankful of this opportunity, and I really appreciate the folks in the NFL, as well as the NFL Players Coalition, who nominated me.
Coach, it must not surprise you that Tremaine is having this type of success off the basketball floor. What type of person was he for you when you had him on the Mesa? And what have you seen from Tremaine in the days since he has left San Diego State?
You're right, John. I'm not at all surprised about Tremaine and his success and his ability to lead. He's a unique young man that has taken advantage of every opportunity that's been presented to him and ran with it. And he has exceeded expectations of so many of other people when they said, well, maybe he can. He was determined and dedicated and committed to being successful, both on the basketball floor and in the real world, in life. And what he's doing now truly does not surprise me. He cares about others, and I think that shows. And when you have the ability to do things from the heart with no agenda and know what's in it for me, which so many people do, then you come across as who Tremaine Davis is genuine, real, to be loved by everyone, and wants to give so much to others. And I could not be more proud of anyone that we've ever had the opportunity to be with, be a part of their lives, and have on our basketball team.
Tremaine, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about the work that you have been able to do and how you've been impacting others throughout what has been a really, obviously, a challenging time over the last year.
Yeah, this pandemic has really, changed the way we look at things. I think it's really changed how we look into what we really value and the things that we, once upon a time took for granted. I've been very fortunate, throughout my entire career working in higher education to be around some phenomenal people. And the folks that I'm with now at UCLA, the direct leadership from my team, Dr. Joni Tunstall and Ashley Williams, have been such phenomenal in regards to just the leadership. Not once did we ever, as a staff, say that we were not going to do something. We all met, when the news came out that we had to break and stop working immediately physically on the campus and start working remotely. We met and said, well, what can we do to make sure that students know that we care? And from there, we looked into the different resources that were out there for UCLA, and we're very fortunate to come up with resources that allow students to still access technology resources. So tablets, hotspots, checking out laptops. And so we really gave that information out. And then from there, wanted to make sure that the students understood that this was within their grasp. It wasn't like a long process. They can immediately, get things rolling. And so we continue to do that work. At the same time, my work with Players Coalition definitely focused on the importance of this digital divide and what it means for folks in education. And so I've been fortunate, again, this is two teams, that I'm working with simultaneously that just would not quit, that did not believe that it wasn't going to be possible for us to make a difference and still be there to connect to the folks who needed to have that connection. And all of it, I've honestly played a small, minute role in all of this stuff. I think what I've been able to do is to make sure that everyone knew about the resources. I think that's probably what's been my biggest role. But again, this has been a team effort. I don't want to get the impression that I woke up one day and said, I'm going to do this. This has been a team effort from every part. And so I'm so thankful to work with incredible people. And to be honored in this way is just what I want to do, is highlight the important works of those teams, because I wouldn't be here without them.
Coach, when you think about your time coaching on a basketball floor, how much of it is about X's and O's and trying to win, and how much of it is about developing student athletes to be leaders in communities after their time as an Aztec?
They go hand in hand, John. In our world, in order to have an opportunity to do it year after year, you have to win. So you have to have people that bring a level of excellence to the court that will allow you to win. But in the big scheme of things, you are so much more than a basketball coach. And I think those of us who have been in the profession for a long time realize that, know that, take pride in that, and you teach to that. So we spend a lot of time together. So you spend a lot of time talking about things that are not directly X and O related, but in our world, they interrelate in terms of what you do. Now, piggyback a little bit of what Tremaine said when he talked about making sure that the students knew how much that the faculty there, cared. And we have, and he related earlier, we have a quote of the day every day with our team, and Tremaine still uses some of those, which makes me feel proud. And one of those quotes is that I've used: they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Mm-hmm. And Tremaine exemplifies that. He cares about others. That shines through very quickly. He's genuine. He cares about what other people are doing and how he might have an impact on them. That was evident from the time he walked onto the campus at San Diego State. And it shows with a glaring spotlight right now as he's being recognized and honored at this Super Bowl as one of the honorary captains for the coin toss.
I think you said earlier, Tremaine, that, Coach Fish is in me. If you wouldn't mind explaining that, and really what role Coach Fisher, the coaches on his staff when you were a player at San Diego State, have played in developing you into the professional and the leader and the man you are today.
Well, I really mean that, to and through. So much of what I know now, I learned from Coach Fisher. I learned from Dutch. I learned the importance of building a rapport with people. I don't think you can come across anyone that Coach Fisher has had a relationship with that could say anything negative to him. Coach has always been the person that treats people with the utmost respect. And it's something that I wanted to model and emulate in my own way. So Coach philosophy, his mannerisms, how he goes about things. I never once heard Coach say anything about how great of a coach he is, but he's a phenomenal coach. He's one of the greatest coaches to do this. And I think that says something, because we know coaches. We see coaches on TV every day that will highlight how good they are, that will take the spotlight away from the players and put it on them. And Coach has never done that. And I think for me, seeing that, seeing someone live that action allowed me to follow suit. And that's how I've come to live my life and my philosophies. But, I would say that taking the time to teach is probably the most critical thing that I have in me that came directly from Coach. Making things slow down. I think Coach did a phenomenal job with all of us, but especially me, with helping me slow down the game. to realize, like, this is something here. If you take the time to study it, you can see where you can input yourself. And so that's what I try to do every day with our students, have them slow down this process. This is your first year in college. We'll talk about grad school later. Right now, let's tackle these classes right now, and then we'll get to that next step, So like just slowing down the things to realize like your value in it. I think is one of the biggest things that I try my best to emulate that comes directly from Coach. The family atmosphere, I've tried my best to surround myself with people who are going to be in my life permanently, not just for a moment. And if you look at the foundation of San Diego State basketball, it's definitely a family environment. From the time Coach was there coaching to Dutch now, it's a family environment. I keep in contact with Matt Soya all the time. I check in on Matt all the time. But Matt has been there. Matt stepped on campus the same day I stepped on campus. And to see this family environment still together says a lot, because not a lot of programs can say that. But to me, that goes to the value of just humanity and highlighting that within our program. When we look how well the team plays together, that's a big element of the team, the family atmosphere, but recognizing the humanity in everyone. So I try my best to emulate that all the time.
Coach, what do you see as Tremaine's legacy on San Diego State basketball, even now, all these years after he left the Mesa, for what he's now done and succeeded in professionally in life?
You could make Tremaine the topic of what it takes to be successful, what a true leader is, how do you lead? And you can tell story after story about what Tremaine has done in his life to achieve. And he is someone that I know Coach Dutcher and his staff, when they go into homes and recruit, they will talk about Tremaine Davis and what he meant to the program, what he means to the program now, but more importantly, what he means to people, the people that he works with, cares about. A real quick story to illustrate. It was a road trip, and we're at the airport. We have given them meal money because we didn't provide a lunch for them. We've given them a few dollars to pick up a burger or something at the airport. And I'm behind Tremaine as I'm preparing to buy a newspaper. And he picked up a candy bar or something like that. And he gave the young lady behind the counter, he put $1 into her tip jar. And in our world, and in that world, $1 was like $100. But Tremaine showed how much he cared to this young lady who he probably had never met and would never see again, as a sign of appreciation for others. And that's how he's lived his life, and not with give me the spotlight, but to do things that he knows are the right things to do. And we'll be talking about Tremaine Davis and San Diego State for a long, long time. And the best of the story is yet to be written. And I'm really looking forward to these next chapters as we continue to move and watch Tremaine Davis at work.
Extremely well said, Coach. And Tremaine, before I let you go, I need to ask you about the fact that Amanda Gorman, who did the poem for the inauguration of President Joe Biden, has written a poem about yourself and the two other honorary captains that will be read on field at Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. That is truly incredible. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. I think a lot about like the power of the word, the value of what we say, what we speak into existence. And to have someone who is, world renowned in their ability to speak positivity by using the value of the word, for that person to highlight me in some of their body of work is beyond me. Like I'm just getting chills even thinking about that, having this opportunity to be spotlighted in such a way. But it also gives me a lot of motivation. I want to make sure that I use this opportunity to empower more people. And that's what I plan on doing. After after we come back, my mission is to make sure that I use this momentum to really, one, live up to this honor. But secondly, in a close second, is to make sure that I empower folks to recognize their power, because I am as common and as everyday as it gets, you know. To have this spotlight like this, I want to make sure I share that spotlight with other folks who are just like myself.
Tremaine, you've made a lot of people at San Diego State proud. I know the Mesa will be watching. I know the world will be watching on Super Bowl Sunday. We appreciate your time, Coach Fisher. It is always great to see you. Thank you both so much for doing it today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, Coach. It's always phenomenal to see you. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon, Coach.
Thank you, John. And Tremaine, ditto about everything. We love you to death. All the Fishers will be watching on Super Bowl Sunday, and will be bursting with pride when they call your name and we watch you at the midfield for the coin toss. So congratulations. Be safe, be happy, be proud. We love you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.